Continuing the Mike Gallagher Show, jury selection is to begin today in Drew Peterson's long-delayed murder trial. This is the case of the suburban Chicago police officer who is accused of killing his third wife, Kathleen, in 2004. The commander for the Bolingbrook Police Department at the height of this investigation was a guy named Chris Prohut. On our Geico guest line, Chris joins us. Chris, thank you so very much for spending some time with us today. How are you?
Hi, Mike. I'm doing very well.
Thank you very much. Oh, it's my pleasure. You know, you've heard that we're partnering with the National Bible Association today to try to raise money to deliver first responder Bibles and spiritual fitness manuals to first responders all over the country. I was hoping you could spend a couple of minutes talking about the nightmare, basically, that you went through as commander in the Bolingbrook Police Department at the height of the Drew Peterson case, the stress that police officers, firefighters, EMTs, first responders face every day, and let's face it, the fact that it's often ignored by everybody. You guys are just expected to go to work and just kind of get over it. You went through hell over the Drew Peterson case, didn't you?
I couldn't put it better myself. You're absolutely right. I mean, we are supposed to have it all together. We're supposed to have the answers. When we go to a call, we're supposed to take charge. People look up to us, for the answers. And when we start to fall, at least in my case, I didn't know where to turn. I had a really vertical kind of outlook on life that the police officers were at the top, and everybody else was below us. And I wasn't going to go to anybody else for help because they certainly just wouldn't understand. I didn't want to be a failure at my job, so I just kept kidding myself that, I'll make it through this. I'll make it through this.
So why was it so tough, Chris? Was it the pressure of the case, the national scrutiny, the media? Tell us why this became so difficult for you, and you wound up in the hospital, right?
Yes, I did, and I probably would have felt maybe that my feelings were more justified if I had, been in a shootout or something. Mm-hmm. But I believe that it was just the relentless pressure to fix this wrong in our department. Mm-hmm. That was my life. I had been there since age 18, and I was the press information officer when the big one hit. And I wasn't getting the support that I thought. They thought, well, we'll just treat this as a regular missing persons case. But anybody in the department or who followed the news knew that Drew had a shady history.
Right.
His third wife had accidentally, that's how it was ruled, drowned in a bathtub. And
with blood in her hair. Right.
I guess that's where the reports had.
That's what the news reports say, anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then his third wife or fourth wife, Stacy, who's I think maybe 30 years his younger, goes missing, and I dealt with the press for 12 hours a day for 3 months.
Wow, nonstop.
It didn't go away. Yeah, and it was the perception that we were all covering up for him, just trying to spin that, saying, no, it's not about the department, it's about Drew.
Right.
And like you said, it's still going on to this day.
And to somebody like you, you've got nowhere to turn, and that's my point, and that's why when I heard about this First Responders Bible project from the National Bible Association, I thought, bingo, this is, because let's face it, we're a Judeo-Christian nation. Either you believe or you don't. And at the end of the day, there is an answer, and yet many first responders don't ever think to go down that path.
Right. I mean, we have this image armor. We are who our career is, and if we lose that, and that's why I wouldn't go to the hospital, because I knew if I lost my gun, I'd lose my job. And my job was my life, and I had nowhere to turn. And you're right, I was hospitalized. I was in inpatient care involuntarily for 15 days, and obviously learned a lot, and a lot of it was spiritual. My counselor kind of put it into perspective this way. He said, Chris, Jesus wants his cross back.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry
it around. Yeah.
And another thing is, Chris, you're just not that special. And that really turned it horizontally, that just everybody's equal.
Sure.
And there's a lot of organizations that are starting, where there's other officers that will take calls from officers who are in crisis.
Wow.
Because that was my big thing. I'm not going to go to EAP because they're not going to understand me.
Right.
But I have done trainings to over 500 officers, and they come up to me after the class. They certainly don't want to raise their hand because of the stigma, and I understand that.
Right.
But they're like, I was in your shoes.
Yeah.
And I just, make the call, get the help. And, unfortunately in my case, yes, it did end my law enforcement career. But you know what? I'm more than a law enforcement officer.
Right. And you're at peace today?
I'm at peace today.
Good.
You know, my kids have a dad.
Good, good.
And that's the biggest
What a wonderful
thing.
story. Well, I know you support our efforts today, and I wanted to share your story so that people could hopefully dig deep and give to this project. We've got a mountain to climb. I want to raise enough today to send 15,000 first responder Bibles and spiritual fitness manuals to first responders all over the country, starting in Aurora, and continuing in your department and all over the country. Chris, thanks for sharing your story with us today. I really appreciate your time very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Good luck to you.